This was shared by a user named Jason L. on a lake forum in 2020. Jason said the last days of summer always felt different. Not sad. Not quiet. Just stretched. Like time itself didn't want to move forward. The days felt longer. The nights warmer. Everything slower. Like the world was holding on to something. That's why none of them wanted to leave the lake that night. It was the last week before school started again. Jason and his 3 friends had gone out early that morning, driving to a lake they had known for years. It wasn't a big place. No crowds. No lifeguards. Just a quiet body of water surrounded by trees and dirt paths. The kind of place people only knew about if they lived nearby. They had grown up there. Swam there every summer. Nothing bad had ever happened. That's what made it feel safe. The day passed like it always did. Swimming. Laughing. Throwing rocks into the water. Talking about things that wouldn't matter in a few weeks. By the time the sun started setting, the sky turned orange and purple, reflecting perfectly across the lake's surface. None of them wanted to go. "Let's do one last swim," Tyler said. It felt right. Like something you do at the end of summer. So they agreed. They walked down to the edge. The air was still warm. The water looked calm. Too calm. Jason noticed that, but didn't think much of it. They stepped in. The water felt normal at first. Cool. Refreshing. They waded in until it reached their waists. Then their chests. Eventually, they floated. Not too far from shore. Just enough to relax. The sky above them was dark now, scattered with stars. Everything felt peaceful. Then, Jason felt it. Cold. Not the normal kind. Sharp. Localized. Around his legs. He moved slightly. The cold moved with him. That's when he frowned. "Do you guys feel that?" he asked. His friends looked at him. "Feel what?" one of them said. "The water, it's colder here," Jason replied. They shrugged. "It's a lake, man." Jason forced a small laugh. But the feeling didn't go away. It spread. Slowly. Up his legs. To his waist. And with it came something else. Pressure. Like something was in the water with him. Not touching. But close enough to feel. Jason's breathing slowed. His instincts kicked in. Something wasn't right. That's when one of his friends spoke again. "Wait, where's Tyler?" Jason turned. There were only 3 of them. Tyler had been right beside him. Seconds ago. Now. Gone. No splash. No movement. No sound at all. "Tyler?" Jason called. His voice echoed slightly across the water. No answer. The lake stayed still. Too still. Jason felt the cold tighten around his legs. Like something reacting. Watching. He started moving toward the shore. Slow at first. Then faster. The others followed. They didn't say anything. They didn't need to. They all felt it now. Something was wrong. They reached the shore, stumbling out of the water. Jason turned immediately. Scanning the surface. "Tyler!" he shouted. Nothing. Then, a ripple. Far out. Small. Barely noticeable. Then another. And slowly. Something broke the surface. At first, just a shape. Then, a head. Jason's chest lifted. Relief hit him instantly. "Tyler!" he yelled. But the relief didn't last. Because Tyler wasn't swimming. He wasn't moving at all. He was just there. Floating upright. Facing them. Too still. Too straight. Like something was holding him in place. Jason took a step back. "Dude, come on," one of his friends said nervously. Tyler didn't respond. Then, slowly, he raised his arm. The movement was wrong. Too slow. Too controlled. Like it wasn't natural. Like something was learning how to move him. "Come back in," Tyler said. His voice was flat. Empty. Not his. Jason shook his head immediately. Tyler, stop. Get out, he said. Tyler didn't react. Didn't blink. Just stared. Then, he moved. Closer. But he didn't swim. The water didn't ripple around him. He just slid forward, gliding across the surface. Jason's stomach dropped. Because now he could see it clearly. The water around Tyler wasn't moving. Not at all. It was holding him. Like a solid surface. Then, something moved beneath him. A shadow. Huge. Shifting slowly under the water. Not breaking the surface. But close enough to see. Jason grabbed his friend's arm. Run! They didn't argue. They turned and ran. Through the trees. Across the dirt path. Didn't stop. Didn't look back. Until they reached the car. Jason's hands were shaking so badly he could barely unlock it. They got in. Slammed the doors. And that's when Jason made a mistake. He looked back. The lake was visible through the trees. Still. Calm. Then, he saw him. Tyler. Standing at the edge of the water. Not wet. Not dripping. Just standing there. Watching them. And behind him. The surface of the lake bulged upward. Like something massive was rising. But never breaking through. Jason started the car. They drove. Fast. No one spoke. No one tried to make sense of it. Search teams came the next day. Divers went in. Boats searched the area. They found nothing. No body. No sign. Just water. Perfectly calm. Like nothing had ever disturbed it. Jason never went back. None of them did. But years later, one of his friends called him. Late at night. Panicked. I heard him, he said. Jason's chest tightened. He was outside my house. Jason didn't respond. I heard Tyler's voice. His friend continued. Saying the same thing. Jason closed his eyes. Because he already knew. Come back in. Now. Every summer. When the nights get too quiet. When the air feels too still. Jason hears it too. From somewhere distant. Across water. That same voice. Calling. Patient. Waiting. Come back in. This story was shared by a user named Maria K. on a neighborhood forum in 2022. Maria said summer nights used to feel harmless. Warm air drifting through open windows. The quiet hum of fans. Distant laughter from neighbors still awake. The kind of nights where everything feels safe simply because it always has been. And growing up, there was one sound that always meant something good. The ice cream truck. It came every afternoon. Same time. Same music. Kids would run outside with coins in their hands, calling out to each other, racing to be first in line. It was routine. Familiar. Something you never questioned. That's why years later, when Maria heard it again, she didn't react right away. Because part of her brain told her it was normal. Even though it wasn't. It was close to midnight. The kind of late summer night where the air feels heavy and still, and sleep doesn't come easily. Maria had been lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the quiet of the neighborhood. That's when she heard it. Faint. Soft. The ice cream truck song. She frowned slightly, sitting up in bed. That didn't make sense. The truck never came at night. Never. She walked slowly to the window and pulled the curtain aside. The street outside was empty. Dark. No movement. But the music got louder. Closer. Slowly drifting down the road. Maria felt a small knot form in her stomach. Because something about it wasn't right. Not the tune. The speed. It was slower. Stretched. Like each note was being pulled apart. Distorted just enough to feel wrong. Then she saw it. The truck. Rolling slowly down the street. No headlights. No interior light. No driver visible. Just moving. Quietly. As if it didn't need anything to guide it. Maria's chest tightened. The truck stopped. Right in front of her house. The music continued. Dragging. Uneven. Then, it cut off. Instantly. Silence flooded the street. Thick. Unnatural. Maria stepped back from the window. Her heart beating faster now. Then, a voice. From outside. Soft. Gentle. Come outside. Maria froze. Because the voice sounded like her younger brother. Exactly like him. But he was asleep. In the next room. She could hear him breathing. Soft. Steady. Come outside, the voice said again. Closer. Right beneath her window. Maria didn't move. Didn't answer. Her throat felt tight. Another sound followed. A slow creak. From downstairs. Her eyes widened. Because she knew that sound. The front door. Opening. Very slowly. Maria's heart started pounding harder. She stepped into the hallway. Looked toward her brother's room. The door was slightly open. She pushed it gently. He was there. Still asleep. Unmoved. Unaffected. But the voice came again. Now from downstairs. Maria! I got ice cream. Her stomach dropped. Because it sounded closer now. Inside the house. She backed away slowly. Every instinct telling her not to go down there. Not to respond. Then, a knock. From inside. On the bottom of the stairs. 3 slow taps. Like something waiting. Maria covered her mouth. Trying not to make a sound. Then, the music started again. But not outside. Inside. Faint. Echoing through the house. Like it was coming from the walls. The same tune. Slower. Wrong. Maria felt tears forming in her eyes. Because now she understood something. The truck hadn't just stopped outside. It had followed the sound inside. Then, a shadow moved at the bottom of the stairs. Not clear. Not fully visible. But something was there. Standing. Waiting. The voice came again. Right below her. Just one. Maria shook her head silently. Stepping back further. The shadow shifted. Like it was adjusting. Trying to see her better. Then, a second voice. Also her brother's. From the same place. Come on! Maria's chest tightened painfully. Because now there were 2. Both sounding exactly the same. Both calling her. From below. She turned and ran back into her room. Locked the door. Covered her ears. But the music didn't stop. It got louder. Closer. Like it was right outside her door. Then, a soft knock. On her bedroom door. Gentle. Patient. Maria! She didn't respond. Didn't move. The knocking stopped. The music faded. Slowly. Until it was gone. Completely. Morning came eventually. Light filled the house. Everything looked normal again. Quiet. Safe. Maria stepped out of her room slowly. Walked downstairs. The front door was closed. Locked. Nothing out of place. She should have felt relief. But she didn't. Because something caught her eye. On the floor. Near the bottom of the stairs. Melted. Sticky. Colorful. Ice cream. Spilled. And beside it. Footprints. Small. Child-sized. Leading from the door. Up the stairs. And stopping. Right outside her room. Maria said the truck never came back during the day. Never played its music in the sunlight. But every summer, when the nights get too quiet, she hears it again. Faint. Slow. Getting closer. Stopping. Right outside her house. Waiting. For someone to come outside.